EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for June 16th, 2023. The Friday video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated business with 2 locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location is at 102 East Susquehanna Street, and their second location, McCall Collective Hap House in Trexlertown, is located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard. Both locations are open 7 days a week and have a full draft menu between the 2 locations and many varieties available for takeout, along with local wine and cocktails. And they have trivia nights every week at both locations. Both of those locations are celebrating Father's Day weekend, Friday through Sunday, with dad platters and a free 10-ounce beer of your choice. The first one's on them for all dads on Father's Day. For more information about that and all other upcoming events, visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, McCallCollectiveBrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So a bunch to talk about today, and you see the icon, the image behind me. I put the heavy rain, and I didn't really have a thunderstorm one today, but there will be some thunderstorms involved with this today too. Some of those could be a little bit frisky along in the Delmarva region here, and we'll cover that today. Not a tremendous amount of rain. This is very similar to what happened on Wednesday. Do you remember what Wednesday we had some showers earlier on, and then in the afternoon they turned into thunderstorms. Some of them got a little bit feisty. I do think there's a little bit better potential today across the Delmarva than what we saw the other day. The other day was kind of like central northern areas, or kind of north of that line. Today is pretty much south of that line. Okay, so it's kind of backwards in the sense of the areas that are getting hit by that. That's because of where the upper level trough is digging to. Okay, so here's the European model showing the scattered showers and thunderstorms, and that moves away this evening and moves into New England after that point. So in terms of total rainfall, this is what we got. It's much like Wednesday, where it's going to be hit or miss. Okay, so you have some showers and storms in the interior. Where a storm hits, it could be a little bit more, and especially in those eastern and southeastern areas. These areas right in here, where the storms are expected to be a little bit more potent, could get into more in the way of rain. You get a pretty good dumping in those areas, but there's little spots in here where thunderstorms hit that it could dump more than a half inch today. Okay, and that would be the total between the showers and the storms, of course. This is total precipitation through the entire event. So I'm going to use the high-resolution rapid refresh this evening and not the NAM, because the NAM came in this evening and looks completely different from anything else. So when it does that, it means it's probably doing something goofy, and there's something that got lost in translation in the algorithm or whatever it did. So I'm not going to use that because it doesn't look realistic or compared to the other models that are very consistent with each other, not only model to model, but run to run. I mean, the HRR has been very consistent with the same idea. So this is looking 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm using the evening run here because this goes a little bit further. So I'm going to use that. And it has these showers moving eastward, some embedded thunder with it. But once we get to the late morning period, I think is when the storms get going, and it's going to be right near the Delmarva. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has a risk assessment for this particular area. Slight risk for severe storms, much of South Jersey, Delaware, eastern shore of Maryland here, and then a marginal risk that extends into Philadelphia, southern Bucks, southern Montgomery, southern Chester, southeastern Lancaster, and then also parts of Monmouth and northern Ocean, northern Burlington here, and actually parts of Mercer County is in that as well. And then extends back into northern Maryland, back to Baltimore, D.C., as far as the marginal risk is concerned. I think the areas that are the best chances are highlighted well with this, okay? So I don't disagree with the Storm Prediction Center that anything in the interior here most likely is going to be garden variety. And when I have that, as far as wind gusts, we're talking about maybe 25, 30, maybe 35 in a few spots. It's when you get down here, the primary threat for severe weather in severe weather mode is going to be straight-line winds. However, some of the soundings this evening are indicating that there could be a little bit of a spin and a rotation in some of these storms. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a weak tornado across some of these regions here in the slight risk area. I don't expect it to expand northwest. I think it's anywhere, actually the marginal risk also. These marginal risk areas and points southeast could have a brief spin up, weak tornado, EF0 type if that were to happen. Not the most likely severe mode today. It is most likely is going to be straight line winds, but I can't rule that out, okay, in our southeastern areas. Don't want to get anybody excited about that because it's not a high chance. It's only about a 2 or 3% chance. But I do agree with that, in those particular areas, just going by the soundings I'm looking at this evening. So this is going to move eastward, and it looks like it's going to be an early afternoon deal, like maybe like 11 to 3 or 4. You got these showers and storms that just take off here. When they're in discrete mode, which is this right here, that's when you could have a tornado or kind of spin. Once they get congealed into a line segment or a semi-congealed line segment like is shown here across South Jersey, then it becomes more linear. Straight line winds is really the threat at that point as it transitions. And this is going to extend all the way down to southern Delaware and the eastern shore of Maryland. So I think the Storm Prediction Center has this predicted well as far as the areas. Okay, I don't expect an expansion northward because there's a different animal up here. It's a little bit more stable, and you're mostly dealing with showers, but there could be some embedded thunderstorms with this. They're going to be garden variety in the regular areas, okay? Once we get this past here, and once this moves off the coast, that's the severe part of it. So it's going to be rather early on Friday where you have the severe threat. Then you have some pop-up showers and thunderstorms that are going to be just garden variety, and that's it, okay? And this is going to be as we go through the course of the afternoon and evening, and this will die off before midnight here on Friday evening, okay? So that's what we're looking at for this. Don't get excited about severe weather unless you're in those areas that I highlighted, which are pretty much south of that line there, okay? And even more so if you want to take this a step further, that's probably your slight risk area here in these areas here. Those are probably your highest probabilities for severe, but anywhere in that region is susceptible to severe weather here on Friday if those storms can get going. So we'll move forward to this point, from this point, and then we'll get to Saturday. Now, Saturday, the trends here, I use the 18Z run of the European model because the trends have been continuing each run to push the showers and thunderstorms further and further east. Okay, so this is now mostly a New Jersey deal. I can't roll out an isolated shower in eastern Pennsylvania from northeast PA down through east central, southeast PA. The eastern portions of those regions getting into an isolated shower. And here's what the NAM has for that, just to give you an idea. Here's the upper level low spinning up here in New England. Around the backside of that, see where it's going? It's right over northern New Jersey here. Again, can't rule out you get a stray shower here in the interior in a few spots. It's not impossible, but I think the better chances are going to be the further east you go here on Saturday. So other than that, we're looking at partly sunny skies, partly to mostly cloudy in our eastern areas, even though you're not going to be under any showers in most cases. We left an isolated chance for a shower kind of in this corridor right here, okay? When you get it east over here, this is probably your best chance area. But even in here is going to be an isolated chance in that block here. West of there, forget it. There's probably nothing there, okay? So that's Saturday. And it's going to be very slightly below average Saturday here. And then Sunday, we're back to mostly sunny skies as this system pulls even further north and east. It's now over New England. So Sunday is going to be a mostly sunny day and very nice for Father's Day. So that has not changed, and we're not expecting anything to change. Saturday, compared to yesterday's video that I gave you, is looking better for a lot of areas except for New Jersey. But you're still, even there, you're looking at some scattered, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms that will take place during the afternoon on Saturday. Otherwise, partly sunny, right? Okay, so it's not an entire time. The entire day is not a wash. Once we get beyond this point, we get to Monday. We left a stray shower chance in here because you still have this very broad upper level low still sitting here. So there might be a little bit of an influence here where you get a stray shower here on Monday. Not a big deal. Same thing here on Tuesday. Again, just an isolated chance for a quick shower or storm on Tuesday. Most likely a shower at this point. This next system down to the south. Now this big broad area here is what we were watching. Looked like a lot more ominous yesterday. The trends here over the last 24 hours has been to keep this a little bit further south. And if that's the case, we can end up with this entire week dry. Wednesday looked like a slam dunk for rain. Now look how far south it is. It's over the Carolinas. Southern Virginia is the farthest it gets to our area. And then Thursday starts creeping up a little bit further north, and it's in the central of Virginia, but it's still south of our region. So at that point, Thursday would be dry as well. But it is close enough that you could have some clouds, especially in the southern periphery of that, where the northern extent of the system might produce some clouds, more clouds than sun at some points. during the stretch Wednesday and Thursday. So we have partly to mostly cloudy now for both days, but it could very well end up being a lot more sun than is indicated with that. This might make us run northward here as we get into Friday, but we'll see. This has been bouncing around. Again, when I was talking about this a couple days ago and I said, hey, look, we're looking at a forecast that's more than 7 days in advance. It's going to change, and I know it's going to change because it constantly does that. So when you're looking at something that's going that far in advance, the models are trying to guess, and they're trying to extrapolate based on what's going on now and just trying to figure out from this point what's going to happen. And if something along that line is a little off, it's going to throw everything off downstream as well. And that's what we're seeing. But most of the guidance is trending this direction where it's going to be drier next week. So if you had any plans next week and you're grumbling about, okay, yeah, we got a decent amount of rain here. Now let's not make this a habit where we're getting in a constant rainfall. And I hear that, but looks like next week's looking a lot better, at least at this standpoint right now. We'll continue to follow that here in the next couple of days and heading into next week and make sure this thing stays south. And if it doesn't, we'll let you know that too. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for June 16th, 2023. Have a great Friday.